Remember when Everclear used to be available?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
When I lived out in California, there was a guy, he was an independent contractor. He worked for Dick Clark Productions.
Okay.
And he basically was laying cable, for cable television,
sure,
whatever. So this guy was making a lot of money. He like I said, he had a contract with Dick Clark Productions and some cable company. And he was, this was back in the, mid to late 80s when cable still was fairly new,
Okay, sure.
And so he had a contract, which he was, making a shitload of money.
Right.
And he would come into the club that I was working at.
Okay.
And he used to buy everybody mudslides.
Okay.
And there was a group of guys, he and the bartender and the other DJ and the doorman, and there was like 6 of us, I think, total.
Okay.
To where we were known as Team Mudslide.
Nice.
And it was sort of like a tradition thing that he would buy everybody at least a mudslide at the end of the night, and everybody would kind of gather around in a circle,
right,
and raise their tumbler of mudslide up in the middle. Everybody kind of like toasting at the same time and just yell out, "Fire in the hole!" And everybody would do their mudslide, right?
Okay.
Well, this guy would invite people over to his place after the club closed. Mm-hmm. He had this nice house and everything, and invite him over. He would sit there and drink Everclear and orange juice.
Nice.
I never seen anybody just drink Everclear and orange juice the way that he and I never did it myself, but he invited me over. Oh, you would have loved this guy.
Yeah.
Show up at his house. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You get out of your car.
Okay.
It's pitch dark outside.
Right.
Walking up to his driveway to his house. The house is like dark because, the lights, he had like heavy curtains or whatever.
Right.
Next thing you know, you see a laser pointed at your heart.
Oh, Jesus.
This guy had laser sighted pistols.
And he was drinking Everclear.
He was drinking Everclear. His name was Steve Seamers.
Oh, okay.
And we used to call him Steamin Semen. He did, because he used to bang a lot of chicks.
I'll bet.
Because he had a lot of money.
Sure.
And of course he would buy everybody drinks, and so the chicks would like flock to him and stuff. So he was Steamin Semen.
Steamin Semen.
Yeah.
What a nickname.
I know. Steve Seamers. I went to his place a couple of times.
Yeah.
And the Clerks movie.
Mm-hmm.
This was obviously before the Clerks movie.
Right.
He had these big screens, projection screens, so they didn't have flat panels then.
Sure.
In his house.
Okay.
In projection screen TV.
Right, sure.
He would have hermaphroditic porn playing. And that reminds me of that Clerks movie with chicks with dicks.
Right.
How in the fuck did she do that? He'd be sitting there drinking his Everclear and orange juice with his pistol and his laser sights.
Jesus.
This guy was off the hook.
Wow, I guess so. Wow.
I only went to his place like twice because I got a little nervous, to be honest with you.
You did. I wouldn't have gone back the second time, I don't think.
I went twice.
I think after that first time when I had a scope sighted on my fucking chest, I'd have been like, I don't think so, man. I'll call you.
So, yeah, very interesting memories.
Did you keep up with Steamin Semen?
Well, I know he went back to North Carolina. That's
right.
The last time I heard of it, and I heard that he punched Mark Farner in the face.
Wow. That's a story.
That's what I was told anyway.
Dude, you got to get yourself in contact with Steamin Semen and see if we can't get him on just to tell that story.
Yeah, no shit.
That would be a good story.
Maybe I'll try to locate him.
Yeah. Look up Steamin Semen on Facebook. Or Google it. I can't imagine that anything else would come up wrong.
Sure. Right. So good. Well, dude, we are back. It's the 20th anniversary of the Classic Metal Show. We're kind of celebrating the life of Lemmy tonight.
Yes.
Back to our normal stuff. So if you're listening to the Classic Metal Show live, jump in the chat room. If you're listening via the Spreaker, which we seem to get a lot of action on Spreaker.
Yeah, we seem to do
with the live shows and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The constant stream through the day, people checking it out. But you can go over to chatandkill.com, and that is our chat room, chatandkill.com. Just spell it out and be a part of the show.
We passed 1.3 million now.
I know, I see that. We're at like 1.38, something like that.
Jesus, and that's without anything new in 3 weeks.
Right. Well, I got to stay ahead of the Moose because he's at 10,000.
Oh, yeah, he's catching up.
He's catching up. 10,000 people.
I should be paid for this shit.
10,000 in almost 2 years.
Hey, are you just talking about him because you need attention?
You're right.
Isn't that what you're doing?
Well, I did drop the check in the mail, so.
Oh, good.
But anyway, I'm gonna go get a drink for Lemmy.
Okay.
And we'll come back and we'll get into some subjects and stuff.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, Nathan from Kentucky, who's very quick on the memes.
Yes.
Put out a very cool meme about Lemmy.
Yes.
And our good friend Don Dokken put out his little story about Lemmy.
He did.
I actually texted him when the news came across, and he called me right away. He goes, "What?" Talked to him for about 10 minutes.
Right.
And then he says, I gotta put my story about how I first met Lemmy.
Sure.
And he wants to call in next week.
Oh, he's welcome to.
So he's traveling abroad, and he says, I will call you internationally next week.
Wow. Calling from where? India?
I think India.
Look at that. Maybe he can get some Indian tales.
Yeah,
in.
some real Indian tales.
Yeah, really.
Wow. Well, anyway, Nathan from Kentucky, who's big supporter of the Classic Metal Show, put out that meme, and he also made a request for some Motorhead.
All right.
So from the Motorizer release, this is for Nathan. This is just called Rock Out. It's Motorhead exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.